Welcome back everybody. In this video I'm going to be discussing my future plans for the YouTube channel, my Patreon and my games. Before we start, I just want to thank you for almost 2,000 subscribers now. I couldn't have done this without you. I have been listening to your feedback and trying to give you things that you guys have asked for, and that has definitely helped in coming up with ideas and helping my channel grow. The first thing I want to talk about obviously is the YouTube channel itself. As you can see, I'm now using a camera. I'm aiming to increase the production value by including my face, and I'm hoping that obviously as time goes on I can get more confident on camera. When I first started I was definitely not as confident as I am now talking. If we look in these first videos, you see here, there's me there, and I didn't really know what I was planning to do with the YouTube channel. As you can see, I was playing games, I was 3D modeling, I even had Take It Racing 2 there, and then obviously I started making GB Studio tutorials based on things I'd learned in Take It Racing 2. And then obviously I realized that people were like, okay, let's have, they wanted a Pokemon battle system. So then I started making that. And from there, I think that's where my channel, I knew what I wanted to do with it because of what you guys wanted. So again, I thank you so much for, being there and always commenting and letting me know what you like and don't like. It's invaluable to a creator. I actually got monetized at the very beginning of the year. As you can see this video here, GB Studio 3 was just released. Here's what I found so far, my first impressions. 6 months ago, and it got tons of views in the first, well, I don't know how long it was, but it basically meant that in January, I managed to get monetization so I could get ads on the channel, and since then I've been earning a tiny amount on each view. The real problem though is that it isn't enough to sustain my living. So obviously by spending time making these videos, I'm not earning as much as I would if I just worked a minimum wage job, unfortunately. But I don't mind because my plan is for this to grow. I want to stick to this so that I can turn it into something that will be, at least minimum wage. And that would be a dream job, right? And that's why I created my Patreon. I think I did it a year ago now. Ever since the beginning, there have been people who have supported me every month, and I'm very grateful for those people because any and all support just encourages me to keep going. Yeah, so please go and check out my Patreon. Obviously, you don't have to, but that isn't the only way you can support me. You can also support me by going on to Itch and buying my games, and that's exactly what I want to talk about next. As you can see, when I started my channel, I was making devlogs for Spacepunk, which I obviously cancelled, and Take It Racing 2, which obviously I'm still making. And then obviously I moved into tutorials and obviously kept up the devlogs alongside the tutorials. And that's exactly what I want to do now. Obviously in the Patreon, it has what I want to do every month. So I would want to make every 2 months a new GB Studio project. When I made the Advanced Wars prototype, I gave my Patreons the files. And that's basically what I would want to do every 2 months. I would want to make a small demo along the same size as the Advanced Wars prototype and give you guys the demo and obviously a video explaining how to use it. And hopefully that would be inspiring for some people. And my intention is that if I'm making every 6 months free prototypes, then I will have a reason or some inspiration behind turning one of those games into a full game. So I intend that every 6 months I make another full game, just like how I made a game in a week in Clockmaker's Tale. I would try and spend some more time, obviously, than a week over that 6 months to make a fully fledged game. Obviously on a smaller scale than Take It Racing 2. Obviously in my last video, I was talking about scaling down Take It Racing 2 just because it's so out of hand with its size. And I've kind of learned that I would want to make more games and be more creative, but also have, those big projects on the side that are my passion projects that I wouldn't mind not finishing because I enjoy, the artwork and just like thinking about it, right? But as a game developer, you're not a game developer unless you develop games, right? So I do want to make more games and I want to finish more and I want to give you them. And I'm hoping that by making it part of a Patreon tier, I'm actually going to be pushing myself to do that more because I haven't actually made a proper game in too long, way too long. And finally, not completely connected to the Patreon, but I'm actually making board games as well. I understand if you guys aren't interested in that stuff at all, as obviously you guys are mainly here for GB Studio, but I'm hoping that the process of making board games will help you think about the process of making digital games and GB Studio games and Game Boy games. And obviously if I enjoy it, then I'm going to try and, you know, slip it in somewhere, right? During the first lockdown in the pandemic, I made a game using the Game Crafter. Obviously I made it on paper and I sketched it out and I came up with the rules and everything. And then I got it printed and sent to me using the Game Crafter. And I'm thinking of doing something similar to that for any other games that I make. Unfortunately, the shipping to England where I live is very expensive, but if you live in the US, it should be a bit better. But basically, I just want to explore game design in its totality, obviously. I also want to make videos of like my Game Boy collection and things like the Game Boy camera and the Game Boy printer and stuff. But I'm just letting you guys know what my plans are, and so you guys can let me know what you like the sound of, because obviously, again, the only way I got to 2,000 subs was by you guys subscribing and letting me know what you guys want to watch. But yeah, just to wrap things up, I'm obviously not going anywhere. I encourage you to support me on Patreon if you want to see more. Remember to play my games. Leave me some feedback on those. I'm hoping to get a new demo of Take It Racing 2 out by the end of the year. That's probably my next goal. And obviously, if you look at my Patreon, I'm going to be making some demos. I'm going to be making some games. Thank you for joining me on this ride. I'll put my Patrons up on screen right now. Thank you very much to you guys. Remember to like the video if you like the video. Subscribe if you haven't already. Please let me know what you thought of this video, what you thought of the face cam, what you think of my Patreon ideas, my YouTube ideas, my game ideas, my board game ideas. And that being said, I thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.